Welcome back to another episode of What's in the Box. This is where I spend my hard-earned money to entertain you. Now, what's curious about this box is that I have no idea what's in this. And the reason is because at some point in the last 5 years, I purchased something and I don't know what happened. I stuck it down in the basement and it's been there for X number of years, between 1 and 5 years. Might have been 2 years, might have been 3 years, but it's been there, down there for a while. So let's take a look and see what's in this box. Okay. Now, let's get rid of this box for a second. Look, this has been down there so long. Oh, look. Oh, this is interesting. This is... Oh, look at this. This is a Zeiss Icon Super Nettle. I don't recall buying this. I must have. But this is a Zeiss Icon Super Nettle. This is only one of 4 folding 35mm cameras that Zeiss Icon ever made. And that's rather curious because if you recall, from the 1930s onward, probably up until almost 1960, let's say the late 1950s, for a good 26, 27 year period, the folding camera was extremely popular, but Zeiss Icon only made 4 models. They made this one, and then they made 3 post-war models: the Iconta / Cantina 2, and the Contessa. And actually, those 3 I'm going to cover in a later video. You're going to like that video. So this is the pre-war model, and pre-war would indicate before the end of World War II. Let's see what lens it has in here. Oh, this has a triatar. Yep, don't recall buying this camera. So this used a lot of, now you can see the Art Deco. This is sort of similar to an Art Deco model because it has that horizontal striping. And this used a lot of components from the Contax One. Very similar to it. This also is very, very close to a Netax, Nettax rangefinder. That's an that's a non-folding camera, obviously, but with interchangeable lenses. These little ears, or these little tabs, press it and close the lens door. This has a removable back, and so this used the either standard 35mm cassette, or you could use the Zeiss Icon film cassettes, which you would preload, and you could use that both on the supply side and on the take-up spool side. Let's see if there's either in here. Nope, no film spool on either side. However, because I have a million things, I happen to have a film spool, and probably from roughly the same era. So this you could use up as your take-up spool. You put a fresh roll film in here and then slide it across. With any pre-war camera, you always want certain numbers to be to match. So in this case, you want the number on the back to match the number on the body, which they do. Occasionally what would happen is the back would get damaged or something, or who knows, but the numbers would mismatch. And from a collector's point of view, and also from a functional point of view, that's not what you want, because there's always a chance that the back isn't going to match up correctly or whatever. They probably did, because these were mass produced, of course. These weren't custom made one-offs. It's not unusual to have to replace the shutter curtains. You know what, let's pop open the back again real quickly. This used the Contax 1 shutter, which was actually continued on with the Contax 2, probably with some modifications to increase reliability. I would say this is probably going to need a bit of work. I'm sure the shutter needs to be exercised. They used, I think it was silk straps to connect the top and bottom shutters, or the top shutter with the bottom drum, which has a spring in it. And it's not unusual to find that those straps have frayed over the years. This camera is going to be from the 1930s, so it wouldn't be out of the ordinary to have to replace something that's what, come 80 plus years. This has two eyepieces, let's just say that. This one's going to be for focusing your image, and this one will be for, no, it's the other way around. This one's going to be for composing your image, and this one will be for focusing. This uses the famous Zeiss icon rotating prisms. And so what it is there's two prisms, circular prisms, and they rotate. There's wedge prisms, and that's how you align your image. So after you focus your shot, you would then shift your eye roll just one millimeter to the left to frame your photo and before taking it. So it actually is, yeah, pretty much 1 millimeter. Overall, these are very nice cameras. There was one more model, and did they call it the Super Nettle too? But in any case, the difference is that it's in satin chrome body, and this door no longer has a leather covering. It now has it now has just a brushed satin metal plate. Now I have one more model. I have another model that I serviced many years ago, but it was missing the accessory shoe of all things. So I think I got the accessory shoe from a Retina camera and bonded it to that, but it never really quite held. So it's nice to have one with a true accessory shoe. And so this was offered with either the Triatar, which is a triplet, 3 lens elements, or the Tessar, which is 4 elements. The 4-element lens is going to be much better than the 3, although I found the 3 to be decent, but the Tessar lens is always going to be superior because at that time it was the superior lens. This is the rewind button. Ugh. I say ugh because you had to rewind the film in little, almost 3/4 turns. So if you had a roll 36, you could really be rewinding for a long time. As you can see, it doesn't pull up. And so you're really restricted to just doing it a small amount at a time. This has a couple bumps on the back. These have become known as Zeiss bumps. From what I understand, it's the lacquer that they use to bond the leather to the body has reacted to the brass rivets, and over the years has caused a small bit of debris to form under the leather and form these bumps. That's what was in the box this time. That was a surprise to me. As I said, I don't recall buying this camera. Obviously I did, and I'm always happy to have another Zeiss Icon camera in my collection. Hope you enjoyed this video. I try to post about once a month or so a What's in the Box episodes. So I should have another one upcoming at some point. Don't forget to hit that like or subscribe button. As always, keep on taking photographs.